I was shocked. I fell to the floor because I was devastated for what I was going to have to tell my kids.
This is the tragic story of Jared Bridegan, a devoted father of 4 and the CEO of Microsoft. The tragedy began on the evening of February 16, 2022, when Jared had just finished dropping off his 9-year-old twin son and daughter at his ex-wife's house in the serene town of Jacksonville Beach. He was driving back to his home in St. Augustine, accompanied by his 2-year-old daughter. As he approached the exit of the sanctuary neighborhood, a sudden obstacle caught his attention. A tire lying on the road. Little did he know that this seemingly innocent incident was a meticulously planned attack. Without hesitation, Jared pulled over to remove the tire. However, before he could take a single step, he was mercilessly shot multiple times. The hazard lights of his vehicle continued to blink, illuminating the scene of horror, while his precious daughter sat unharmed in her car seat. News of this senseless execution spread like wildfire, prompting a surge in rewards for any leads that could unveil the identity of those responsible. The reward quickly escalated to an astonishing $55,000, turning the investigation into a global whodunit that captivated the attention of the media. Join us on this journey by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to stay updated on the latest developments in this case, as well as other gripping crime stories and the relentless pursuit of justice. Together, let us strive to raise awareness and honor the memories of those whose lives were tragically cut short. Jared Bridegan's life journey began on June 29, 1988, in Warrensburg, Missouri, where he was born to his loving parents, Gaylord and Joanne Bridegan. As a young boy, Jared's family relocated to the vibrant city of Jacksonville, Florida, setting the stage for the remarkable path he would carve out. In 2007, he proudly graduated from the prestigious Douglas Anderson School of Arts, marking a significant milestone in his pursuit of artistic excellence. Determined to further his education and passion for cinema production, Jared enrolled at Utah Valley University, where he dedicated himself to his studies and graduated in 2014 with a bachelor's degree in digital media. Jared's unwavering faith was a cornerstone of his life, as he actively participated in the Church of the Latter-day Saints. Within the LDS community, he shared his wisdom and love for the Lord by teaching Sunday school to 11 and 12-year-old children. Those he taught fondly remember him as a fun and engaging instructor, known for his creative lessons and humorous anecdotes that captivated young minds while imparting the teachings of their Savior. Enthusiastic about videography, Jared pursued a career in this field, ascending to senior positions in various companies before ultimately landing the role of senior design manager at Microsoft. In 2009, fate brought him back to Florida, where he crossed paths with a woman named Shanna Gardner. Hailing from Utah and also a member of the LDS Church, Shanna happened to be visiting a friend in Florida when their serendipitous encounter took place. Shanna is from a Mormon family, and her parents co-founded Stampin' Up!, an arts and crafts company. With an estimated annual revenue of $100 million, Shanna is extremely proud of her family's achievements and would often boast about the luxurious lifestyle that she could offer Jared. When she first met him, she talked about how they could go wherever they wanted, fly anywhere in the world, and her parents would pay for everything. Following their fortuitous encounter, the two quickly started a relationship, and by 2010 they moved to Shanna's home base in Utah, buying their first home for $800,000. Then the two were married that same year, and soon after, the couple moved to Connecticut. During their time in Connecticut, Shanna and Jared experienced the joy of welcoming their twins, Abby and Liam, into the world. It was a period marked by significant life changes, as neither Shanna nor Jared were engaged in formal employment at the time. Shanna's parents provided them with a monthly allowance of $8,500, coupled with access to credit cards. Additionally, reports suggest that Jared received a generous sum of $100,000 from Shanna's parents to kickstart a business venture. However, as the couple settled into their Connecticut residence, cracks began to appear in their relationship. Shanna's commitment to her faith waned, and she became increasingly dedicated to rigorous exercise routines. Conversely, Jared grappled with weight gain and devoted substantial time to his work endeavors, striving to establish his business. The strain on their relationship became apparent during this period, as external pressures began to take their toll. In 2015, propelled by the need to prioritize their son Liam's health, the couple made the decision to return to Jared's hometown in Florida. The move was motivated by Liam's heart condition, which necessitated a sea-level environment for optimal well-being. After settling in Florida, Shanna Gardner and Jared Bridegan purchased another property in Point Verde Beach, just south of Jacksonville, for $800,000. Unfortunately, their situation took a turn for the worse during this period. While Jared remained steadfast in his commitment to the LDS faith, Shanna continued to distance herself from their shared religion. She became involved with a CrossFit gym, and as a gesture of kindness, Jared bought her some PT sessions as a gift. However, according to certain sources, it was during her time at the gym that Shanna purportedly engaged in an extramarital affair with her personal trainer. Shanna vehemently denies these allegations, but some claim that Jared discovered incriminating emails between Shanna and her trainer on her personal computer. Confronted with this evidence, Shanna allegedly confessed to Jared that she no longer loved him. In February of 2015, Shanna initiated divorce proceedings, sparking a protracted and tumultuous battle over child support and parenting conflicts. Initially, she sought full custody of the twins and exclusive occupancy of the family home. Shanna also made various accusations against Jared, including allegations that he threatened to access the children's trust funds for personal gain. She further claimed that he coached the twins to make disparaging statements about her, recording these interactions and using them as leverage in court. However, Jared said that he was the one who deserved full custody of the children. He also claimed that he deserved alimony and child support, as well as sole occupancy of the home, since Shanna had better means to relocate. He also accused Shanna of abusive behavior. According to Jared, Shanna resorted to intrusive measures to monitor his actions. He alleged that she concealed baby monitors in their children's bedrooms, placing them under Abby's dresser and Liam's bed, allowing her to spy on him. Additionally, he claimed that she had installed a tracking device on his car. Jared stated that Shanna would lock him out of their master bedroom and subject him to degradation in front of their children. He also accused her of canceling an appointment for Liam's much-needed heart surgery, despite waiting for months. Jared expressed that while he had made efforts to salvage their marriage, Shanna's decision to cancel the appointment served as the final breaking point. In the midst of the divorce proceedings, Jared communicated his frustrations to his lawyer, expressing a desire to be free from constant surveillance. "This is enough. I should have every damn right on my own property to not be under constant recording or monitoring by Shanna. I want the flipping gates of hell released on her for this." After all of this back and forth, the court ultimately decided on shared custody, with the children switching back and forth between their homes every other week. But even after this was decided, over the following 6 years, they continued fighting over the children.
I'm sure you would say that we've had happy moments. I mean, we share the two most beautiful children in the world. Anytime divorce comes into any situation, it's messy. It just is. I will say that I think that we both love our kids.
Despite the tumultuous circumstances surrounding the divorce, Jared managed to find stability in his career during this period. He resumed working as a designer for a software engineering company based in Utah. Also during this time, he met a new woman named Kristen. The two met on a dating app while she was living in North Carolina and working for Microsoft. Although Jared had explored dating options before, it was with Kristen that he found a genuine connection. Their first date was a testament to Jared's commitment, as he embarked on a 6-hour drive to meet Kristen in North Carolina. In the following months, Kristen made the decision to transition to full remote work for Microsoft, enabling her to relocate to Florida and be with Jared. The couple sealed their love through marriage in October 2017. Over the course of the next few years, they welcomed 2 more children into their lives. Brexley was born in August 2019, followed by London in August 2021.
Thank you, that's beautiful.
It's a great picture, Daddy. I moved your flower.
I see it, that's a beautiful flower.
Concurrently, Shanna, Jared's ex-wife, also embarked on a new chapter by marrying a man named Mario in 2018. Those acquainted with Jared attested to the happiness and fulfillment he found in his marriage to Kristen. He embraced his role as her devoted husband and a loving father to their 4 children. He built a playhouse for the children in the backyard, as well as a laser tag arena in the garage. He seemed to have an endless amount of energy for spending time and creating memories with his children. Unfortunately, those beautiful memories will forever be gone. On the evening of February 16th, 2022, 33-year-old Jared left the house at around 5:50 p.m. to pick up the 10-year-old twins for their Wednesday date night, taking 2-year-old Brexley with him, while the baby London stayed at home with Kristen. After enjoying a meal together, he dropped off the twins at their mother's home in the sanctuary neighborhood of South Jacksonville Beach around 7:30 p.m. Jared then continued his drive to his own home in St. Augustine, a commute of approximately 40 minutes. Regrettably, mere minutes into his journey, and just a few miles from Shanna's residence, Jared encountered an obstruction on the roadway, a tire placed in the center of his lane. Reacting promptly, Jared activated his hazard lights and exited his black Volkswagen SUV, presumably with the intention of removing the tire from the road. Tragically, as Jared Bridegan attempted to address the situation, he was mercilessly shot multiple times at close range, leaving him with no chance of survival. A short while later, a passerby discovered Jared lying on the street, having sustained gunshot wounds. The passerby also noticed that 2-year-old Brexley remained securely strapped in her car seat, unharmed. The passerby immediately dialed 911 to report the heinous act. When officers arrived at the scene, they found the vehicle with the hazard lights on and noted the tire in front of the vehicle on the roadway. Responding officers quickly deduced that the tire was the cause of Jared's stop, which was further confirmed when they found nothing wrong with his vehicle. There were no signs of a sudden stop, such as tire marks on the pavement. The fact that Jared had left his hazard lights on indicated that he had taken the necessary precautions to safely halt his vehicle. Furthermore, there was no indication that anything had been taken from the SUV. The location where the shooting occurred was not entirely secluded, but there were no other vehicles or witnesses nearby. Despite being well lit, this particular stretch of road lacked homes and surveillance systems, such as doorbell cameras, which could have provided valuable evidence. Situated in a suburban setting, the area was characterized by tree-lined streets and a one-way road. While one neighbor did hear the sound of gunfire, there were no preceding sounds of raised voices or arguments. Only the shots reverberated through the air. A home security camera recorded the sound of the gunshots, followed by an eerie silence. The evidence pointed to a meticulously planned and targeted attack. The sanctuary neighborhood, a gated community, rarely experienced violent crimes. Considering these factors, the Jacksonville Beach police deemed it highly unlikely that Jared's murder was a random act or that the perpetrator was unknown to him. To thoroughly investigate the case, the Jacksonville Beach Police Department sought the assistance of a canine search team from Customs and Border Protection, covering every possible area. The trained dogs searched the area for any objects that may have been left behind by either Jared or the shooter during that night. As for physical evidence, besides the tire on the road, shell casings from a handgun were discovered at the scene, even though the gun itself could not be found. Although there were no specific cameras capturing the exact location of the incident, there were surveillance recordings showing vehicles entering and leaving the area. Among the footage, a blue Ford F-150, manufactured between 2004 and 2008, was seen leaving the scene around the time of the shooting. Law enforcement appealed to the public for assistance in identifying and locating the vehicle, emphasizing that even the smallest piece of information could help establish a timeline of events. Jared's family was left in a state of shock and devastation. Kristen Bridegan, Jared's widow, and his brother Adam regularly spoke to local news media, pleading for help from anyone who may have witnessed or known something. They made it clear that they were not concerned about motives or conflicts, but simply sought answers for Jared's 4 children and themselves.
They didn't care that he was a great guy. They just shot him. Everyone should care about that. If you know anything, please say. Whether for the money or just help me and his 4 kids get answers.
Speculation began to arise regarding Jared's ex-wife, Shanna Gardner Fernandez. The contentious nature of their divorce and ongoing custody battles raised suspicions. Jared's ex-wife was the only person known to have had any disagreements with him, making her and her husband the subjects of speculation.
She and her husband were the only one that I'm aware of that had an issue with my husband. To say they were involved is a big thing to say without evidence to back it up, so I'm not comfortable saying that, but they are the only ones I'm aware of that were not happy with Jared.
Despite Jared's widow speaking out in her defense, suspicions surrounding his ex-wife persisted. Shanna dismissed the speculation about her involvement in Jared's murder as inaccurate and sensationalist.
Did you have anything to do with Jared's murder?
No, I did not have anything to do with his murder.
However, various individuals ranging from her fitness trainer to her tattoo artist started speaking to the media, implying her guilt. A man claiming to be a fitness trainer who was hired by Mr. Bridegan to train Miss Gardner Fernandez as a Christmas gift said that he had an affair with the mother of two. Speaking anonymously to the media, the trainer revealed that their professional relationship turned intimate a few months into their training sessions. He claimed that the couple's relationship was strained during that time and that they were living in separate parts of their house. Both Mr. Bridegan and Miss Gardner Fernandez were said to be members of the Mormon faith, but the trainer alleged that Miss Gardner Fernandez had drifted away from the religion while Mr. Bridegan remained devout. According to the trainer, Mr. Bridegan discovered explicit text messages between his then-wife and the trainer on her phone, which caused a significant rift in their relationship. Reportedly, friends of Mr. Bridegan claimed that he was willing to forgive the alleged infidelity in the interest of their children, but they asserted that Miss Gardner Fernandez wanted to end the marriage. However, Ms. Gardner Fernandez has publicly denied those allegations. An employee at a tattoo shop stated that Miss Gardner Fernandez had expressed a desire for Mr. Bridegan to shut up and had inquired if anyone knew someone who could assist with that. Miss Gardner Fernandez acknowledged making those comments, but clarified that they were a result of the emotional strain of a complicated divorce and not meant as a threat towards her ex-husband. Furthermore, a staff member at the elementary school attended by the couple's twins mentioned that Miss Gardner Fernandez displayed disdain when discussing her ex-husband. Through 2022, the police remained tight-lipped about the investigation, only disclosing that significant resources were dedicated to the case and that it received daily attention. Meanwhile, Kirsten, Jared's widow, found herself deeply disturbed and frightened. Just a week after the murder, an unknown individual was captured by her home security camera outside her door at night. This was an unprecedented occurrence for Kirsten.
No idea. It's so blurry, you can't catch much. Besides the timing, that timing is just odd. And we've been here for over 2 years and nothing of this sort has ever happened before. So that's what put me on edge is the timing.
I see it. That's a beautiful flower.
But there is a part of me that does worry about me being so vocal and me fighting so much that they could try to hurt me or Bexley, because Bexley was there.
Kirsten expressed her hope that the evidence sent for processing would yield DNA or fingerprints, as that could potentially unveil the identity of the perpetrator and shed light on who was responsible for her husband's murder.
I hope it brings justice. I hope that those who were involved in his murder are caught. I hope that we can get to a trial quickly. I just hope that there's a resolution and that I can answer Bexley when she asks me why.
In January 2023, there was a significant development in the case as authorities made an arrest. Henry Teton, a 61-year-old longtime felon, was taken into custody and charged with conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree murder with a weapon, accessory after the fact to a capital felony, and child abuse. Melissa Nelson, the state attorney for the 4th Judicial District, informed reporters that there were other suspects under investigation, indicating that Henry Teton did not act alone. Although authorities did not disclose the precise role they believe Mr. Teton played in Mr. Bridegan's death, they revealed a connection between Mr. Teton and Miss Gardner Fernandez. It was disclosed that Mr. Teton had been residing in a Jacksonville home owned by Mario Fernandez, Miss Gardner Fernandez's husband at the time of the murder. Investigators found that Mr. Fernandez had purchased the rental property in 2017 and sold it in October 2022. Mr. Teton appears to have been a direct tenant of Mr. Fernandez. Furthermore, the landlord himself, Mr. Fernandez, was arrested on March 16th on charges of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, and child abuse. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty against him, alleging that he committed the crime for pecuniary gain and in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner without any pretense of moral or legal justification.
So Anne, should we file a notice of intent to seek the death penalty, we will do it within the 5-day requirement after Fernandez Saldana is arraigned.
Earlier this year, prosecutors announced that Henry Teton had pleaded guilty and would testify against his co-defendants. According to the plea agreement, he will serve a minimum of 15 years in prison.
Mario owns the house that we both had rented from him. The ATF and Jacksonville Beach Police, raided my house, took me downtown to interrogate me for hours. Who is Mario? What does he do? I'm like, he was my landlord, bro.
Then, this week, Ms. Gardner-Fernandez was also arrested in connection with her ex-husband's death. Following her divorce from Mr. Bridegan and her subsequent marriage to Mario Fernandez, Ms. Gardner-Fernandez reportedly relocated her family to southeastern Washington state, leaving her new spouse behind. Before the husband's ex-wife is arrested, Kirsten Bridegan expressed her shock upon learning Ms. Gardner-Fernandez moved away, claiming her stepchildren are now isolated from her and their half-siblings. She voiced her concerns, saying, "First the twins lost their dad, then they were completely cut off from their own sisters, and now they're being taken away from their school, friends, their sports teams. They are so isolated, and that's what concerns me." The twins did not attend their father's funeral service. However, Shanna, Mr. Bridegan's ex-wife, shared on her Custom Bakery's Instagram account that she had organized a private memorial with family and friends to show support for my littles. It was a very emotional day, but also a day for smiles, laughter, and love. On Thursday, Ms. Gardner-Fernandez was arrested in Washington state and will be extradited back to Duval County, Florida. She has been indicted by a grand jury on charges of first-degree murder and child abuse.
Shanna Gardner's indictment acknowledges her central and key role in the cold, calculated, and premeditated murder of Jared Bridegan.
State Attorney Melissa Nelson, in a statement to reporters, reiterated the commitment to uncovering the truth behind Jared's murder.
We promised at the outset of this investigation we would not relent until we uncovered the truth of Jared's murder, the whole and entire truth.
Kirsten Bridegan, the widow of Mr. Bridegan, expressed her hope for justice to be served, welcoming the prospect of resolution in the case.
Shanna's arrest ends one horrific chapter of our pursuit for justice for Jared. This next chapter will be excruciating.
It is truly disheartening to witness the circumstances surrounding the mother's actions. However, we can only hope that the 4 children affected by this tragedy will find the strength to overcome their hardships and forge a positive path in life, contributing to society in meaningful ways. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye, and until we meet again.